Hello and welcome to part 3 of the mic shootout. So on these examples, all I've done is it's the snare drum, so the mics are the same. We've included a hi-hat and a bass drum. Now, all the mics for the snare have been processed, but in the interest of making everything as fair as possible, we've used the same plugin. It's a FabFilter Pro Q3, so it's just an EQ plugin with a preset plugin. So it was just a preset for a snare, snare top, snare bottom, and it goes across all the snares, and the same for the snare bottom. And then there's a little API 550B waves compressor. Again, we just went through a snare preset, snare bottom, snare top, and that was that. So it's exactly the same plugins. There's no tailor EQ for each individual microphone, because then, yes, if we go down that road, then things can get, even, more different, because each microphone is going to have its own frequency response. And yes, we can pull frequencies and take frequencies out and increase some other ones to get a better sound with each particular microphone. But in the interest of trying to just do a very simple, straightforward, test, the best way to do it is one preset on an EQ, another preset on a compressor, and off we went. And then everything was balanced. In fact, these are the faders of everything as it was, despite the fact that the mixer is now turned off. But the kick is processed, overheads and hi-hat microphones processed, all the snares, so all the microphones for the snares, top and bottom, are processed. And then we just added a little reverb, just for ambience, to make it, just glue everything together a little bit, instead of just being bone dry. But let me know, again, you will be able to tell the difference between all the different microphones. We haven't changed the order, so the order that it was on part 1, the order that it was on part 2 will also be on part 3, and then we will show all the microphones on part 4 again in the same order. So I don't want any confusions with people having to go backwards and forwards. So the microphones are always the same. They're in the exact same order. We just haven't revealed them yet, but we will, part 4. So part 2, we've put them out today, actually, which is Tuesday, the 27th of February. So part 3 should come out Friday, this coming Friday. And then part 4, I would possibly say a week today. And that should be absolutely fine for that. Then I'm going to do some videos again with just do some drum covers just for the fun of it. There will be another video, because I have a side address Shure microphone. In fact, I have a box in here, which is a PGA 181. It's a microphone that I've always wanted to try, especially because I've seen it being used on snares, as in that's the snare, the microphone on top. I've seen it being used flat against, so that's the shell, to get the resonance from the shell itself. So I want to try that as well. So yeah, I'm going to do some interesting videos with some more microphones. I have a couple of little gooseneck condenser microphones for snare drums as well, or toms, so instrument microphones. So I'm going to have 3 of those. If I can find any other ones, I will try and include those as well. I'm going to do some comparisons with overheads. So the overheads on this particular, on part 3 that I used for bass and snare and hi-hats, I have a pair of overheads that are the Aston Element. But I also have SE electronic mics and everything, so I will do some comparisons with overheads as well, whether it be large diaphragms, small diaphragms, because I have a few lying around. But yeah, so it should be all fun and games. And then, because I'm going back to teaching now, I'll also be recording some tutorials and education stuff on drums, and I'm going to be helping a friend of mine who's also a drummer and is also teaching privately, doing some stuff. And we might even discuss the idea of a little podcast or a weekly discussion. Why not? So it's all to come. We'll keep you posted on everything. But until then, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, share them if you want to. And yeah, check out part 2 that was released today. And then part 3 coming in a few days' time. And then part 4 next week. Take care. See you later.